This is Montana This Morning.
Good Tuesday morning. It's 6 o'clock. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Thank you so much for getting your day started with us. And good morning to our friend Ed over in the Weather Center in for Miller today. Thanks for hanging in there, buddy.
Hey, I'm having a good time. It's fun to be here. I always have a good time hanging out with you guys. So thanks for putting up with me.
Ed loves his job. He was a little bit of everywhere yesterday.
I was.
My husband asked me about, is Ed on again? And I thought he was talking about head on. And I was like, what? And we're just like one of those couples. What did you say? Head on? No, is Ed on again? True conversation. Really happened.
But that's what happens in real life.
Yeah.
Hey, everything's just lit up this morning. What a beautiful shot with the Stockman Bank weather cam as we take a look out towards the Belarus, where we could actually even pick up some more snow heading into tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 50s to get started in the Billings area, and we've got actually a pretty nice weather day today. The showers could start as early as this evening and overnight, and then tomorrow's a little wetter and cooler day, but we, as we always say, could use the moisture. Here's how morning temperatures look, mainly in the 40s and 50s around southern Montana, northern Wyoming. The radar is showing most of the activity off towards our north. And today, we'll look for those temperatures to hit the upper 60s to about 70, which is typical for this time of the year. Clouds increase a little bit in the afternoon as we blow out the birthday candles for the Cookie Monster.
Our pal Cookie Monster. He's come a long way. Let's take a look. This was his first appearance in 1966 for the Wheels Crunchy Cheese Snack.
That's almost a little scary, isn't it?
It is. I'm glad they got rid of the teeth, though.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. He's kept his figure and stayed fairly healthy this whole time. After all these years of downing those cookies.
I'm just trying to think. Cookie Monster's figure. I mean, he's just kind of kind of blobby anyway.
Yeah, he is.
He's a great character, though.
I wish we could all get away with eating that many cookies
That's
every
right.
day. Mm-hmm.
Me too.
All right, Ed. Well, I'm going to get on to the news. Thanks for catching up on the Cookie Monster.
All right, thanks.
Our top story this Tuesday morning, bad news, Billings residents, your water bill is about to cost some more. The City Council voted to increase monthly minimum charges. Rates will be set based on the amount of water used in a household. The city says the increases are needed to cover the increasing cost of service and pay for future improvements. An average bill is expected to jump from $63 to $66 a month. Zimmerman Trail is open again this morning after a crash kept the road closed for most of the day Monday. The head-on collision sent 3 people to the hospital. A 35-year-old man heading south in a pickup crashed into a northbound car driven by a 68-year-old man with a 64-year-old woman. The crash sent the truck over a guardrail and down the rims hundreds of feet before coming to rest at the bottom of the hill. The driver of the pickup was ejected from the vehicle. All 3 people were injured and taken to the hospital. Their condition is unknown. Billings police are investigating the assault of a Northern Cheyenne councilwoman. Family says Silver Little Eagle was brutally attacked and left for dead, and that the attackers took off with her car and personal belongings. Police say her injuries were non-life-threatening. No official motive was given for the attack, but family says it was unprovoked and spurred on by jealousy and hate. Little Eagle is the youngest council member at just 23 years old and serves the Lame Deer District. In world news, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Israel this morning to help make sure the ceasefire holds. During his visit this week, the secretary will meet with Israeli leaders to reiterate the president's commitment to Israel's country. He will also meet with Palestinian leaders before heading to Cairo to meet with Egypt's president. The Biden administration gave Egypt credit for playing an important role in the ceasefire negotiations. European Union officials are taking the extraordinary step of banning airlines out of Belarus from flying over or landing in any country in the EU. CBS's Laura Podesta reports on the decision after a commercial airliner was forced to divert in order to arrest a journalist.
European Union leaders are calling it a brazen hijacking. A Ryanair flight heading from Greece to Lithuania on Sunday was diverted the moment it entered Belarus airspace over claims of a bomb threat. After landing in Belarus, passenger Ramon Protasevich, a journalist, was arrested. The 26-year-old is a blogger well known for his criticism of the decades-long rule of Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko.
This is an attack on freedom of expression, and this is an attack on European sovereignty.
The governing body of the EU determined yesterday any person or business involved in the hijacking will be punished with sanctions. Belarus's airplanes are currently banned from EU airspace and cannot land at any of the 27 EU nations' airports.
Добрый день, меня зовут Роман Протасевич.
In a newly released video paraded on Belarus TV, 26-year-old Protasevich confesses to organizing mass riots. He said he's in good health and being treated well by police.
Я думаю, что его заставили.
But his father, speaking with the media, said he believes his son was forced off the plane, and it appears his nose was broken in the process.
It constitutes a brazen affront to international peace and security by the regime. We demand an immediate, international, transparent, and credible investigation of this incident.
The U.S. is also calling for Protasevich's release. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
If the journalist is put on trial in Belarus for inciting public violence, he faces 12 years in jail. Both the EU and U.S. stopped recognizing Belarus's current leader as a legitimate president. The EU called the 2020 election there fraudulent. The White House is pushing for an international investigation into the origins of COVID-19. The administration is urging China to release more information amid a U.S. intelligence report that indicates 3 researchers at a Wuhan lab sought hospital treatment in November of 2019. It gives credibility to a theory that the virus escaped from a laboratory in Wuhan, China, rather than beginning with animal-to-human transmission. China denied the report and accused the U.S. of trying to hype up the theory. Billings drivers, you may need to find a new route to work this morning. A portion of Rimrock Road from 27th Street to Virginia will be closed starting today. Crews will be working to replace a main water line in the area. The closure is expected to last 2 weeks. Well, help is on the way for Montana and Wyoming farmers forced to deal with extreme drought in 2021. Producers are now eligible for emergency loans from the Department of Agriculture to replace equipment or livestock. Almost every county in Wyoming was declared a primary disaster area, and a large area of southeastern Montana was included. To qualify for an emergency loan, producers must suffer crop losses of at least 30% or loss of livestock or other property due to the drought. Continuing our coverage, Butte authorities are still investigating the fire that destroyed the historic M&M Bar and Cafe. Officials say the flames were so devastating, it's likely the cause of the fire may be undetermined. The fire burned so hot, it collapsed the entire structure onto itself, making a final determination difficult. Investigators say they know the fire started in the kitchen, but they can't figure out how. The owner of the M&M says she plans to rebuild in the same location. A new Montana law allows private and homeschool students to participate in extracurricular activities with area public schools. MTN's John Riley shows us some expected impacts of the recently signed legislation.
On April 28th, Governor Greg Gianforte signed Senate Bill 157 into law, which prohibits school districts from excluding private and homeschool students from public school extracurriculars, such as sports or theater. For non-public school students, the law opens up more opportunities while continuing to allow them to seek their choice of education.
I feel like it does create a lot of opportunities for homeschoolers and private schoolers to continue their athletic interests and stuff.
Mia Melton has been attending St. Andrew's School since kindergarten. She's also a standout athlete, currently playing Arsenal soccer, the most competitive program for her age. Melton loves attending the private Catholic school, but had planned to transfer to Helena or Capitol High in order to play for one of their teams. Senate Bill 157 means she doesn't have to choose anymore and can state the school she wants to attend.
I think working together collaboratively for the students in this particular town and in this state, I think is just a great opportunity for all of us.
The bill does not guarantee a spot for private and homeschool kids in any given program. If there are tryouts, they'll need to compete and earn their spot.
It was written in the bill is that these kids will have to meet the same standards that all of our other athletes meet. Our athletes are held to a high accountability for their academics.
Critics of the new law are concerned it will mean fewer spots for kids who are attending the schools, and that schools may lose out on thousands of dollars in funding because the student isn't attending there.
I think the economic impact is still unknown. You know, as we think about the programs are established, right? So coaching, transportation, pieces like that are established. We certainly have programs that are no-cut sports, and so I don't think we're talking about the volume of students that would cause, you know, additional coaching or, you know, an additional bus or something like that.
While the lost text is pretty cut and dry, school districts say there's a lot of conversations that will need to happen over the next few months. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Thank you so much, John. Well, today marks 1 year since the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Floyd's family will be in Washington for a meeting at the White House with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Former police officer Derek Chauvin is awaiting sentencing after being convicted on murder and manslaughter charges. And to mark the anniversary, President Biden wanted Congress to pass police reform legislation by today, but that's not going to happen. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act bans the use of chokeholds and qualified immunity. It passed the House in March, but has not yet gone to a vote in the Senate. Republican senators do not want a ban on qualified immunity, which protects police from civil lawsuits. Lawmakers from both sides say they are still talking and making progress, but no deal has been reached.